Hi Cancer, this is going to be your reading for September 2018. Before I start, just a massive thank you to everybody that sent me get well messages, who sent prayers, just for all your loving, kind and caring words. Yesterday I was at the hospital for the biopsy results, and the plan of action is on the 25th of this month I will go in to have an operation to have it removed. And then roughly about 6 weeks after, I will have a course of radiotherapy. But as I said, just a massive thank you to everybody who cared. So Cancer, your reading this month. At the centre, we've got the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant, it is often the card that deals with tradition. Doing things the way that maybe our parents have done things, doing things the correct way. It can be about being part of a group, maybe a spiritual group. But the Hierophant for me, it does deal more with tradition. I often pick up more of a family feel with the Hierophant. With the past coming through, we do have the Knight of Swords. Now, he's the quickest knight, and he comes charging through with communication, to speak his truth, to speak his mind, to get something off his chest. Now, it could very well be, Cancer, that this is you. That maybe in the recent past, you've wanted to speak up, you've wanted to say something, and for some reason you've felt as though you couldn't. And maybe in this month of September, now's the time that you're gonna come charging through to communicate something to somebody else. But it could also be somebody coming through communicating something to you. The Knight of Swords is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now, the Knight of Swords, it doesn't have to be negative. Just because somebody's coming through to say something, whether that be you or somebody else, it doesn't have to be negative communication. But in the present, we do have the Seven of Pentacles. Now, with the Seven, we've come so far, we've got to 7. But then we kind of reach this stage where we start to question, what am I getting back from the investments I've made here? Now, this could be work, it could be a relationship, friendship, anything. But we start to question with the Seven of Pentacles. Now, when the card's in the upright, it asks us not to give up. It asks us to keep pushing forward because we're almost at the end. But as I said, there's this, it's reaching that point where you start to question, am I going to get back what I have already invested in and given? Now, in the advice, we have the Seven of Swords. Now, this can touch on betrayal. It can talk about dishonesty, sneaky behaviour. What I kind of feel it's more here about is that some of you, because you're questioning there with that Seven of Pentacles, some of you may very well be tempted here to sneak off, to kind of go out the back door, to maybe walk away from something, but you're not, but there's that temptation there not to say anything. And maybe that Knight of Swords coming through it's there to suggest that maybe you need to speak up. If you've got some doubts there, If you've got some doubts about, as I said, returns on an investment that you've made in regards to somebody else or something, then speak up. Don't be tempted to kind of sneak away here. Because I think that's why the Seven of Swords is there. I don't think it's there to suggest that somebody else is being sneaky. Now, in your environment or how others are viewing you, we have the King of Swords. So this is air energy, as I said, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It could very well be that this is somebody that you are connected to, whether it be a work relationship or a personal relationship. But, this can also be how others are viewing you. And the King of Swords, very logical. He uses his sword to cut through to the truth, to speak his truth. But ultimately, with the King of Swords, he wants clarity. Maybe for some of you, that Seven of Swords, maybe you are thinking that somebody else is being sneaky. That is a possibility here. And maybe that's why you're questioning with that Seven of Pentacles as to whether you want to keep giving, keep investing. Because maybe you have concerns that somebody else is being sneaky or is doing something wrong. Now, moving to your hopes and fears, we have the moon. And the moon, when we get the moon, we don't have clarity. Sometimes the moon card can be about going down a new path. Because I always look at this lobster in the water. And, in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the lobster's in the water and he has this path in front of him. And, he's in two minds as to whether to get out of his comfort zone, of his environment, and go down that path, because not all of the path is lit up. He can't see what's at the end of the path. So there's a lack of clarity. Now, again, the moon card. Sorry if you heard that noise there. I forgot to mute my phone, and I've just had a notification come through. But the moon card also, it can touch on secrets, things that are hidden from us. So, Cancer, are you worrying that somebody is hiding something from you? With this Knight of Swords here, is somebody speaking their truth? Has somebody communicated something to you, but you're still feeling as though you haven't got all the information? But your outcome card is fantastic. You've got the Ten of Cups here. And this is, complete emotional contentment. Your two cards, I've got two cards, for you from the Psychic Tarot. And we got this one here, Love Begins. I think in all the time that I've been using the Psychic Tarot, I've never ever had that card come out. And I guess it's very similar to the Ace of Cups. And it says, your cup is about to overflow with joy, happiness and positive feelings. This is the first of the emotion cards, and therefore signifies that a new love opportunity beckons. This doesn't necessarily have to be physical love, but could also represent the passion and devotion for an idea, a goal, or even a creative endeavor. This would be a perfect time to open yourself and your heart to the higher vibrations and loving energy of the universe. When past issues are resolved, when forgiveness for others as well as yourself has been attained, and when your heart is truly open and ready to receive, then new roads leading you toward love will be revealed. The other card is a major arcana, and it's the universe, and this is equivalent to the world. And the world card, it talks about a cycle of your life coming to an end, a chapter if you like, you know, one door closing and a new door opening. You know, Cancer, for some of you, yes, maybe there is this new chapter opening up. Maybe for some of you, you know, with that love begins, it may be in terms of, you know, newfound love and emotions for yourself, for your life. Maybe it is in regards to another person. I just get this feeling here, Cancer, that for some reason you feel as though you don't have all the information to hand. You feel as though something's being hidden from you, but I really don't feel that is the case. Oh, honestly, Cancer, I'm so sorry. My phone slipped off of the holder that I have it on. Not a great start back into my readings, is it? I forgot to mute and I've dropped the camera, so apologies for that. But with the 10 of Cups being there as your outcome, you know, and that love begins, you know, this is a positive reading. I just feel that the 7 of Swords and the Moon is more to do with your thoughts. I don't think there's anything sneaky going on behind your back. Okay, Cancer, that is your reading. Thank you so much. Take care. Oh, and also, I'm hoping to have time to do the ex-partner readings this month. So, fingers crossed on that. Thank you. Bye. Hi, Cancer.